In this very busy, media-saturated time that we live in, sometimes one of the most radical things we can do is to pause and learn to be present in a different way. I'm Douglas Baker. I'm a therapist, a yoga teacher, and a meditation teacher based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Personal retreats and intensive counseling sessions are meant to fill a gap in mental health services. Sometimes people realize they need to do a focused piece of work, but an hour of therapy is not enough, and inpatient hospitalization is overkill. There's some good research that shows that about 80% of doctor visits are stress-related. There's no way to entirely remove stressful situations from our lives. It's part of life. But there is a way to learn to respond differently to stress so that we don't add self-created stress to stressful situations. One of the primary methodologies that I use in retreats and intensive counseling is mindfulness. The practice of mindfulness is deceptively simple. First, we learn to focus the mind. Then we learn to pause. And in that pause, a great medicinal thing happens. The writer and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl said, "Between the stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space lies our power to choose." That's part of what we learn in mindfulness, is that we can develop a space between what comes at us and how we respond. We learn to live more from our values and less from our reactions. Mindfulness helps us be more present for the things that matter most in our lives. Personal retreats and intensives are designed, of course, with the needs of the client and the goals of the client in mind. We typically spend the day walking in nature when appropriate, practicing meditation, and doing one-on-one counseling. Retreats and intensives can be 1 day, 2 days, or longer. We choose a location that is conducive to pausing, slowing down, learning new skills, and spending time in nature. Sometimes therapy tends to focus more on what's wrong. I make sure that the work that we do focuses also on what you want to grow in your life, what you want to cultivate. There's a power in setting aside the time and devoting that to your own self-development. I've seen it again and again when people choose to make that commitment to themselves. Right in that decision, a new pattern begins to emerge. Think of a retreat as a major opportunity for a reset. Sometimes folks are working on habit cessation as part of a retreat, stopping smoking, changing their relationship to alcohol. So stepping outside of those habitual patterns, we begin to develop new patterns of living, new ways of relating to the world, new ways of taking care of ourselves.